The governor of Puerto Rico, Ricardo Rosselló, who has faced massive protests over his leadership, has announced that he will not run for re-election next year. There have been demonstrations across the US territory since last Saturday when journalists leaked text conversations between Mr. Rosselló and members of his administration. They revealed a series of sexist and homophobic comments, prompting calls for the governor's resignation. After several days of silence, Mr. Rosselló made his announcement via a live Facebook stream.
Today I address you led by the deepest respect for democracy. A significant sector of the population has been protesting for days. I am aware of the dissatisfaction and the uneasiness that you feel. Your right to express yourself will always be safeguarded by our Constitution. To each Puerto Rican, I have heard you, and I hear you today. I have made mistakes, and I have apologized.
Well, Laura Rexach is a radio broadcaster who's been out protesting on the streets for the past week as well. She's in San Juan for us. Laura, thank you for joining us. What is it specifically about these messages that have angered people?
Well, as said, it's not just the homophobic and the misogynistic content. It's the fact that they were also making fun of cadavers that were literally piling up in shipping containers at Forensic Sciences of people who died during Hurricanes Irma and Maria. And these are deaths that have not yet been publicly or officially acknowledged by the government. So to have people inside this chat, which included not just administration officials, but people outside of the administration making fun of this, just really adds insult to injury.
The recovery has been quite slow since Hurricane Maria in 2017, is that right?
It's been agonizingly slow, and not just because aid has been slow in arriving, but because all of the local turmoil and the corruption schemes that have been turning up just put the government more in doubt of whether it can be trusted with federal funds.
Given those broader issues, along with those individual text messages, do you think if the governor stood down that it would resolve the wider issues?
No. His standing down, his resignation is just the first step in what really needs to be a government-wide change and a cleaning up.
There have been massive protests. You've joined those protests. What are people saying that they want to see other than the governor standing down?
Really, that's just the short term. People are focused on that. They're focused on having him resign. And after that, everyone that is or has been involved in these wide corruption schemes needs to be ousted. There needs to be a wide-swept investigation at all levels of the government, and corruption needs to be nipped in the bud.
All right, Laura Rexach, thank you for your insights into the protests in Puerto Rico. Thank you very much.